Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so we gotta continue to draw the contrast between these two candidates. It's peak presidential election time, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and already the media is doing what the media does best. They're spinning their webs of lies, crafting their little narratives, and of course it's the Democrat Party. They're running a minority candidate, so they're doing exactly what you might expect. They're playing race politics in order to lock in the black vote. Remember, you have to vote for the Democrat Party or you ain't black.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's what Kamala Harris's boss told you. So of course that expectation from the Democrat Party remains. And how exactly do they maintain this preferential relationship with black voters? Well, they do it as casting themselves as connected with black cultural icons, a bunch of celebrity nonsense, while using their connections in the mainstream media apparatus to tarnish their opponents as racist or bad for black folks. If you vote for my political opponent, they're gonna put you all back in chains. We all remember that one, right? That's the argument. Well, obviously these days, it's getting more and more popular to question that dynamic. Is it really true? That's the question we're asking today. Which side really has your interest? Which side is really representing the best of you? Is it the Kamala Harris camp or is it the Trump camp? Well, I think I might have the answer. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I really want to paint the contrast here. It's a presidential election. We saw the Kamala Harris event. Kamala Harris is bringing out all the rappers to help her draw a big crowd and get her in with the black vote.
And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business.
And if you want to keep loving your party, ladies, let me hear you make some noise.
You know, I think that's the third time that I've played that Megan Thee Stallion clip, but I want to keep playing it because in this election, it might be the best clip that we have. This is what the Democrats think of you. The Democrats think so low of black voters, and these types of pathetic attempts are exactly what prove it. Kamala Harris and the Democrats aren't offering anything of actual substance. No, they just want to appeal to the lowest common denominator. Shaking derrieres, getting on stages with people who promote some of the most degenerate, hedonistic lifestyles. Just bring those people on stage and hope that you're going to be able to mobilize the youth enough to give you a jolt in voter turnout and voter enthusiasm. It's the most insulting, condescending of strategies. And you know, that's apparently the side that has your best interest at hand. That's the side that understands what you're going through and wants to help you build a better life. You know, by running failing school systems in your neighborhoods, defunding the police, legalizing drugs so that homeless people take over your streets en masse, like an infestation of dystopian nightmare zombies, then of course stacking a migrant crisis on top of all of it. Yeah, those people really care about you. No, those people want you living in an endless cycle of poverty. They want to destroy the family unit, glorify petty crime, hedonism, and momentary thrill-seeking. They want you poor, broken up, and most importantly, dependent. Dependent on who? Dependent on them and their big government rackets. I mean, Democrats across the nation have been tasked with solving the problem of homelessness, and in almost every single instance, they've exacerbated homelessness like never seen before. Really, you know why? You know what's at the core of it? Big bureaucratic bloat. Democrat bureaucrats working in government to solve homelessness. Yeah, if they solved homelessness, they'd be out of a job. They perpetuate problems so they can justify their useless government jobs and government departments. It's a freaking racket. They want you dumb and screwing up so they can keep collecting money from productive citizens to pretend as if they're helping you. I think I'm going on a little bit too much of a tangent, but you know, let's get back to the core of the video. They tell you that Kamala Harris is good for you, but Kamala Harris insults you. Meanwhile, on the other side at Trump rallies, the guy who's supposedly racist and doesn't respect black people, well, what's his camp doing? Well, definitely not bringing on Megan Thee Stallion to gyrate her cheeks. No, a completely different scene over there. Trump brings on well-spoken, eloquent, successful female business owners and personalities to come on stage.
But let me also tell you, when I was 12 years old, I had to watch my father come home with shards of glass and blood dripping down his face from 9/11. We were there. I don't want to be there or hear about another terrorist attack on our soil that could be prevented. When you allow 11 million undocumented people to walk across our border, you are allowing an attack to happen. It's common sense. How could you ever fathom allowing someone to even run for office who doesn't want to even enforce our laws, who doesn't think it's important to even visit our border? How is it possible that she makes a joke on the news media saying, why are you asking me about visiting the border? I haven't even gone to places in Europe. Well, newsflash, you're running for President of the United States of America. Take your time and get to learn these 50 states, as many of us have.
They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game. See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
A totally stark difference now, isn't it? Do you see how BS the whole racial narrative is? You know, I always like to draw back to old clips, but really I think this kind of thing encapsulates exactly what I'm talking about.
Such as the Trump people, you know, they just don't want to see it.
Hey, I wanted to take you over here with me to the Trump supporter side, and maybe you can show me if there is racism over here that I should be concerned about. He wants to know if he's going to be safe inside there if he goes.
Yeah, come on in, you go with us.
We'll welcome you with open arms.
Hey, you guys almost changing me around. Hold on, a few more, I might change my mind. I don't see enough of me to represent with me here.
Hey, you're with us. That's all that matters, brother.
This don't black, white don't mean shit.
Now, I'm going to go over with the demonstrators with him, and he's going to follow me around and see if I get treated with love and tolerance.
No, Nazi.
Yeah, no one can hear what you're saying. You can, bitch. How do we become black?
The left will tell you that the right-wingers, oh, they're scary and racist, they don't care about you, but it isn't the truth at all. It's a completely bogus narrative. You're being manipulated by Democrats who want to put you on this phony pedestal, all for their own self-interest. It's fake, it's tokenism. And they'll tell you the other side is deeply racist because they oppose that kind of nonsense, but rather view everybody as individuals with their own merits. It's a completely different world. That's why when you see at Republican rallies, you see impressive, successful people of talent from all different cultures and walks of life. The reason you see that trend is because it's part of the culture. It's a culture of meritocracy, not phony tokenism. The only people who end up on the stage are the people who actually deserve to be there. It's real equality, not Kamala Harris's phony equity. It's about culture and tradition and values that represent all of us. One set of good values that we can all follow that can unite people. That's the idea of conservatism, where leftism, or whatever left-wing ideology has become these days, well, it's more fragmented and jagged, crystalline, everything crisscrossing and clashing. They talk a big game about unity and inclusion, but there's nothing actually unifying them other than some sort of weird adherence to cult worship and their seemingly insatiable lust and thirst for power. That's why they act the way they act. They will use anything as a means to attain that power. They'll promote everything negative in a community just to get that momentary little session of hype just to cross the finish line. They only care about the momentary pleasure instead of actually developing cultures and standards and traditions and values that actually uplift us all. They would rather appeal to the common denominator, the lowest of common denominators, in their quest for power. Anyways, that's pretty much what's on my mind. Hopefully all of that makes sense. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.